What's going on now is 10 times worse than anything that I've said in my book. I've stayed with my mouth shut for the sake of my family. I've tried to help my sons build a relationship with their mother, and I pray to God every day that she gets the help that she needs or wakes up and realizes that you have two sons right there in front of you that are screaming for a life with you.
Totally understand why my family would have a problem with me doing my own thing. Do you guys want me to get better so I can continue to give your dad 40 grand a month? Or is the reason behind you guys deciding to be hateful is because it's actually over in 2 years and you don't get anything?
Rivah TV. What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So interestingly enough, we are back on the conversation kind of in regards to mental health. You know, we talked about Gucci Mane earlier, as well as it brought up, you know, he actually brought up in that video, Britney Spears' conservatorship. And so it kind of reminded me of this situation that is constantly going on between Britney Spears and her ex-husband, that's also the father of her children, and this kind of tumultuous situation. So if you guys are unaware, pop star Britney Spears was married to a man by the name of Kevin Federline for about 3 years.
How did he propose? Can I ask that? Or is that too much? Am I being nosy?
I proposed.
You proposed? Mm-hmm. Really?
Now, this relationship came to be after her very public relationship with Justin Timberlake. You know, they were like, you know, the element of the time. Okay, everybody loved them. They grew up from, you know, doing Mickey Mouse Club together. They had similar trajectories. He was an NSYNC, she was, you know, a pop star. It just seemed like a match made that was meant to be. And you know, obviously there was some kind of demise in that relationship, and soon after she was with Kevin Federline, and everybody could see, okay, the public was well aware that after that situation, you know, in regards to with her and Kevin, Britney Spears completely changed.
Shut up, you're laughing at me. I don't like you anymore. This is the secret button, and this is the pull, and it's really cold.
I think I'm married for the wrong reasons. And then that led me, instead of following my heart and like doing something that made me really happy, I just did it because for the sake of the idea of everything. And it just led me on a weird path.
She was already under a lot of stress and duress based off of the things that she had experienced in the industry, based off of her kind of like, you know, having to work and do all these things that she no longer wanted to do, the responsibility of basically taking care of everybody and paying everybody's bills. And she was a child star. And we have all seen constantly, publicly, what a lot of child stars have unfortunately had to go through. And so the two of them started their relationship. The relationship didn't work out. Britney Spears was, you know, obviously in some ways struggling with her mental health. And fast forward all the way till now, it has been said that Britney Spears paid $40,000 a month, okay, to her ex-husband after the divorce because he got full custody of the kids. And so that was her support payments to him and the children.
For nearly 2 decades, Britney Spears paid Kevin Federline $40,000 a month, 20 in child support, 20 in alimony.
Do you guys want me to get better so I can continue to give your dad 40 grand a month?
Now, most recently, okay, he has decided to come out with a tell-all book. Now, it has been speculated consistently that the reason why he has come out with this tell-all book is because his children are now about to age out of child support. It's also been said that he moved to Hawaii when the children were, you know, closing in on being, you know, 18 to extend the payments to be, you know, flowing through until they turned 21.
What's going on, Kevin? How you doing, brother? You still planning on moving to Hawaii? If you do, would you allow Britney to see the boys before you guys leave? A lot of people are saying that you're choosing Hawaii because of the change in child support laws out there. Anything you could say to them?
A lot of people say a lot of stupid things.
So there's been a lot of drama. Okay, now in this book, there has been a couple of things that he's mentioned. He's mentioned times where the children, I guess, felt unsafe based off of some of the actions that she displayed when they were at her house.
Punching, hair bleaching, and forcing her sons to eat shellfish and take baths with their mom. New disturbing details from Kevin Federline's tell-all book continue to pour in.
Now, a lot of people asked him, like, what is the reasoning behind you putting this book out there? Like, why wait until this exact moment? You know, a lot of people are like, is it for the money? Is it for this? Like, what would be the reasoning right now, today, right when her, you know, conservatorship has kind of been up for a little bit, she's kind of doing her own thing. What is the need for you to do that? And so he basically said that he wanted to sound the alarm because he just felt that, you know, he was scared for his kids, that basically whatever is going on with their mother or whatever, and he wanted it to be publicly out there, the things that he himself has experienced while raising children, you know, and having this tumultuous relationship with her.
I'm absolutely, as a father, terrified that one day I might wake up and my sons are going to have to deal with the unimaginable. I kind of have to sound the alarm that I truly feel that somehow, some way, I just wish that their mom would get help.
So, you know, it's not a secret that a lot of the things that Britney Spears has done openly are basically a reflection of her inward life. Like, we all remember, I'm pretty sure, when, you know, she had that situation where she went to the barbershop and just like shaved her head. We saw the time where, you know, paparazzi was kind of like chasing her around and she ended up like dropping or nearly dropping her child. Like, she really went through a lot, right? And so when we have this conversation, I don't want to discredit her experience at all because I was a Britney Spears fan. Okay, if y'all don't know nothing about me, just know that I was hit me baby one more time. Like, I was that girl. I love Britney Spears' music. And but I also know that she went through a lot. And so what I think is something that's really important to have in this conversation is that a lot of people are coming to the forefront, clearly upset with this situation, obviously because she's in a very vulnerable state. Like, why would you do this? And they also, you know, were saying that he's lying about all of these occurrences.
His ex-wife Britney Spears has called the memoir full of white lies and accused its author of constant gaslighting.
So what they're referring to is this statement that Britney Spears ended up putting out. And she said, the constant gaslighting from ex-husband is extremely hurtful and exhausting. I've always pleaded and screamed to have a life with my boys. Relationships with teenage boys is complex. I have felt demoralized by this situation and have always asked and almost begged for them to be part of my life. Sadly, they have always witnessed the lack of respect shown by own father for me. They need to take responsibility for themselves, with one son only seeing me for 45 minutes in the past 5 years, and the other with only 4 visits in the past 5 years. I have pride too. From now on, I will let them know when I'm available. Trust me, those white lies in that book, they are going straight to the bank, and I am the only one who generally gets hurt here. I will always love them, and if you really know me, you won't pay attention to the tabloids of my mental health and drinking. I'm actually a pretty intelligent woman who has been trying to live a sacred and private life the past 5 years. I speak on this because I've had enough, and any real woman would do the same. So this is the thing about a lot of Britney Spears posts on her social media. You know, as we're scrolling through, a lot of the things that she says, like, you know, they definitely make sense. However, there's a level of ranting that people do sometimes when, you know, they are not fully clear mentally, and you can tell by the way that they comment. You can tell by the things that they comment. You can tell kind of like about, you know, with the verbiage that they use. And so, you know, people and her fans often use these things as a determining factor to say that she's fine, she's okay, there's nothing wrong with her. But, you know, I mean, based off of her actions alone and her energy alone, I think it might be kind of evident that, you know, she's not 100%. And there's nothing, you know, embarrassing or humiliating about it. It's just the truth. And that's okay, right? That's okay that there might not be a place where she is 100%, but denying that can be definitely more dangerous than, you know, bringing awareness to it. So obviously, like I said, based off of this situation, a lot of people are like, why are you trying to put out this book? Why are you trying to defame her? Why are you doing all these things? Why are you saying these things? Obviously, she's fine.
It was a rough night for Britney Spears last night. It ended up with police coming, an ambulance coming, and guests in the hotel feared she was having a nervous breakdown. Things were so out of control.
And the images of Britney outside of the hotel are alarming.
Britney Spears shocked everybody on Thursday when she started drinking and lit up a cigarette on a private jet.
We get her all the time. Today, she obviously didn't take her meds.
If we're going to be blatantly honest, it doesn't take eyeglasses to see that Britney Spears right now is not 100% fine. Okay, there's nothing shameful about it. There's nothing that should be hidden about it. It is simply the truth, right? And so what Kevin Federline seems to be doing is he's trying to bring awareness to the fact that yes, she was under that conservatorship, and it was, there was things that were done that he did not agree with, but at the same time, she is genuinely in need of help. And if you guys are unaware, her father is the one who placed her under the conservatorship. And, Kevin Federline even spoke out against him.
Jamie Spears is a flawed man. To be honest, my sons just wound up seeing their grandfather. They've been talking for years, but they just went to Louisiana and saw him for the first time since 2018, a couple months ago.
So he mentioned that he's obviously, a flawed man. And that he took the brunt over, taking ownership of the situation.
Jamie Spears has gotten a lot of flack for the way he handled the conservatorship. And once the Free Britney movement started, it was just no stopping Jamie in general. Like, he took the brunt of all of that crap. Everybody deserves to be free, right? But at what cost?
I thought that was very interesting to mention because, her claim to fame, her reason to fame is because of her father and her mother, right? That's why Britney Spears is where she is. And we've seen that situation happen with Kanye West. And we obviously just heard that situation occur with when Gucci Mane talked about that when it comes to his book and his album that he released, right? He literally mentioned that that's what, his mother was trying to do to him.
My wife kidnapped me with my 6 bodyguards from the Porsche and had to take me to a mental hospital. It even talks about me and my mom and our strained relationship from when she tried to get the thing like Britney Spears got on her. My mom tried to do that to me.
I think the important thing in this situation is that Kevin Federline is saying, like, I know that you guys all wanted her free. I know you guys didn't appreciate the conservatorship. I know you guys know that she went through a lot of things, but at the same time, she's not okay. Now, interestingly enough, okay, Britney Spears ended up going on social media and started to talk about things that she's gone through. Britney Spears ended up posting this picture on social media, and obviously she's aware of all the backlash. It's a picture of her on a horse, and she ends up with this lengthy caption that says, "My back, my blades, my wings. Remember the movie Maleficent? Such an incredible movie. Remember the king tried to delete her, but instead a guy secretly took her wings? But anything from the Father in heaven, the real Father, whom is the only one I only claim, who loves unconditionally." As we know, she obviously doesn't have a good relationship with her father based off of the conservatorship, as we just mentioned.
Honestly, my dad needs to be in jail for the rest of his life.
See, I don't understand how he can be such an ass.
She also says anything holy is never forgotten. Her wings were holy, so the king couldn't take them. Not one person could say they were restored and hidden, locked in a secret holy stained glass church. Not that this has any relevance with me, but I do find it incredibly interesting. I had a traumatic experience, as some of you know, at the end of my book, where for 4 months I no longer had my private door and illegally was forced to not use my feet or my body to go anywhere. For a person like me who understands the sacredness is God's speed, it did more than hurt my body. Trust me, there's a lot I didn't share in my book, and still things at this very moment I've kept hidden because it's incredibly painful and sad. She also said, I do feel the logic and mindfulness in my body as one was 100% deleted and destroyed. I couldn't dance or move for 5 months. Anyways, I know my post and dancing seems silly, but it made me remember how to fly. I used to swim with my babies on my back till they were 4 and 5. I was incredibly strong. At the end of the movie, she goes to a church and somehow finds her wings. Protector of the Moors, considered a villain, but actually one with Mother Nature. Animals would bow to her. She was brilliant in that movie. I do feel like my wings were taken away and brain damage happened a long time ago, 100%. She also said, I, of course, moved on from that troubling time in my life, and I'm blessed to be alive. I'm showing my back. One makeup artist said, don't you think it's too big? People are incredibly cruel. Still to this day, I haven't flown like I used to do. You think if I go to the Vatican, I might find something quite interesting there? It's fun to tell stories at this point because this all might sound so silly, but with what garbage literally is being said about me, I said, why not bring substance to the table? The thing that I want to talk about is the fact that Kevin Federline was the one who indeed raised the children. regardless of what situation was going on. You know, she was under a conservatorship. She did have some mental health issues, regardless of, you know, the placement and what was given to her or whatever the situation was. She did have those things. And so there is truth that he's talking about. Now, the motive he's saying is because he believes that she still needs help. Right? He still believes that she's still suffering and that, you know, the whole Free Britney movement came forward, but it's not changing the fact that she deeply went through things. She deeply dealt with things. You know, she herself talked about brain damage that she went through. And so she was released from the conservatorship, but at what cost?
Jamie Spears has gotten a lot of flack for the way he handled the conservatorship. And once the Free Britney movement started, it was just no stopping Jamie in general. Like, he took the brunt of all of that crap. Everybody deserves to be free, right? But at what cost?
So, you know, he's saying basically that, you know, the reason why he's doing this is because, you know, this is his real life and it affects his real children. One day, you know, his children can wake up and, you know, something can be terribly wrong with their mother, or, you know, worse could happen. And so he wants to bring awareness to the situation of things that he experienced or that his children have experienced, so that people can understand that she might still need more assistance.
What's going on now is 10 times worse than anything that I've said in my book. I've stayed with my mouth shut for the sake of my family. I've tried to help my sons build a relationship with their mother, and I pray to God every day that she gets the help that she needs or wakes up and realizes that you have two sons right there in front of you that are screaming for a life with you.
And I completely get that. I completely get it. I understand the angle in which he's coming from, and he's explaining what the motive is, but you know, it's still a harsh situation because people still don't fully understand the need to do something like that, instead of just reaching out and trying to find avenues to get her help. You know, Britney Spears was married recently for a very short period of time, and people caught up with her ex-husband. And, you know, he was basically saying that Britney's ex, Kevin, was a professional father, and so in the book maybe he's going to teach other men how to do that.
Hey, what's up, Sam? How are you?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing good. I wanted to ask you, you know, Kevin Federline just announced he's going to be releasing a new tell-all book. I wanted to know if you had any thoughts on that.
No, I mean, what is he going to tell
about? He's going
to
be talking about his life, you know, he's going to be detailing his marriage with Britney.
Well, he was a professional father, so he would be a great, it would be the first book that'll tell you how to be a professional father.
The thing is that when Britney left that relationship, the world was happy. Okay? It was literally like on The View, and the whole entire crowd erupted and people were applauding because the demise of Britney, you know, relatively began around the time that relationship began.
Britney Spears is leaving Jason!
There were times that, you know, Kevin released certain audio or video footage of, you know, what his children were experiencing with their mother at the time.
Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? I do care, but I'm shocked as with you. And I don't know what to do. And I'm scared of you because you're weird, because you're going through puberty. I don't know what to say. But I do care more than you know.
I genuinely believe one of the main issues is that Britney was in a situation that she maybe no longer wanted to be in, that she was overwhelmed by. She had counsel around her that wasn't the best counsel, and it definitely greatly affected her. And, you know, the kids are getting big. The kids are grown. You know, does he need to bring this awareness, to protect his children? You know, I believe it could be a money grab. I'm just going to keep it real. I believe that it could be a money grab. I believe that there's ways to, you know, talk about situations or say that somebody needs help without having to, you know, bring all this, you know, attention to yourself and finances to yourself in regards to the situation. You know, these kids are about to be big and grown, and whatever it is that they're going to deal with or have to experience, that's going to be a part of their journey. It's not for you to you know, step in certain ways. You know, as Britney said in her post, and as everybody knows, these kids are big. Okay, they're not babies anymore. So I could see if this book came out, you know, when they were really, really young, and he talked about certain things when they were vulnerable and couldn't protect or defend themselves. That's not where they are.
Totally understand why my family would have a problem with me doing my own thing. I keep working so I can pay off mom's legal fees in her house. Do you guys want me to get better so I can continue to give your dad 40 grand a month? Or is the reason behind you guys deciding to be hateful is because it's actually over in 2 years and you don't get anything?
Okay, so I do believe that for him to say 100% that this is not about him trying to extend finances based off of the fact that child support is ironically ending at the same time is a stretch. Do I believe that every single thing that he put in that book is a lie? I don't. Do I believe that Britney does have some things that she probably needs to work through, and people can visibly see that based off of her childhood, based off of her trauma, based off of all the things that she's gone through? 100%. But at this point, you know, it's up to their children to have a relationship with her and figure that out. And also all the awareness that you're bringing to the situation, especially doing it in this way, is not going to be anything that might be of any assistance. You know, she's admittedly saying that she has gone through things as well. So it's a crazy, crazy scenario, a heartbreaking scenario that, you know, a lot of these people go into these spaces and just change so much. You know, I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Do you think that he gets, you know, I believe he deserves credit for raising these kids. We haven't seen these kids in tabloids or anything like that. I think that he deserves an immense amount of credit for raising them, and, you know, that they're basically okay. They're kind of like normal kids leading normal lives. This book, on the other hand, is like a hit and miss. People want him canceled for it. People are angry with him for it. Some people understand the narrative. What do you guys think? I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.
Rivah TV.